the Cheese Pit. Today we got a very special guest, a good friend of mine. He's been collecting for 20 plus years. I feel he's an expert in the hobby. Mr. Tom Donor. Tom, come on into the pit and welcome. Good seeing you, Tom.
Hey,
It's been a
same
long
here.
time. Good seeing you.
How you been?
Grab a seat, my friend.
Honored to be here.
Oh, thank you much. Tom has been collecting, like I said, 20 plus years. I feel he's an expert in the hobby. Tom, I want to ask you a few things. Your opinion on where the hobby's going. What do you think is hot? What do you think is not? I want your advice. I value your advice, you know that. And I'd like to know how you got started in this.
Well, actually, a customer of mine was selling a couple of gas pumps he had. He just decided to get out of the hobby. So I went by and I looked. He had two pumps. He had a May West. They were both in the mid-20s. He had a May West and he had a GB. And I fell in love with that GB. So.
Oh yeah, they're easy to fall in love with.
Oh.
And once you do one, you know you got to have another.
I'm so excited about
That's what
that.
avalanched it to you?
Yeah. All original. Had the original globe, original cylinder.
Oh, I can't beat that.
It was actually very solid piece.
I want to stop you right there for a minute,
Sure.
Tom. As you're talking about original, I want your opinion on original. Should we get it restored? How do you feel about that, Tom?
Well, you can't beat original unrestored. That's the ultimate. If you can find something that's in excellent condition, it's a great investment. Other than that, if you're going to restore it, restoring it correctly is so important to retain its value.
They have the right thing.
Yeah, you have to make sure you have the right parts. If it's missing parts, you really don't want to use reproduction pieces.
Unless you have to.
Unless you have to, exactly. If it's extremely rare and you just can't seem to find it, you do what you have to do. But I'm really big on keeping things original as possible, down to the correct paint and color.
Yeah.
Extremely
well said, Tom.
picky about that. Thank
well
you.
said. You heard it right there, Tom Donor. He loves original items. I want to touch on other things here in the field. There's a lot of things going on. What do you think's hot? You know, we're here in Detroit, and everybody knows the economy in Detroit is really in the gutter. May God help us out here. It's rough in Detroit, and people are doing what they can to survive. Tom, what do you think is good to collect in the future that's going to have a great return, and what do you think that we should stay away from as far as a return on our money? Now, I'm not talking about buying it because you like it. I'm talking about as a return on our money, an investment.
Well, obviously the gas pumps, excellent. Gas pumps are really strong. Air stations, they're doing extremely well. In fact, a lot of the air stations are bringing more money than the gas pumps because of the scarcity of them. A lot of them were damaged, cars backed into them, broke them. A lot of them were pitched. There's a lot less air stations out there, so.
You're right on that, and I agree with you 100%. When you're talking about air station, you had many pumps on the island, but you only had one air station.
Exactly.
Makes it very rare to get, for sure.
Exactly.
A few more things I want to touch on. How do you feel on the globes? Is that a good investment at this time?
Well, geez, unfortunately, with the reproductions today, they're so exact. They're making them so perfect. It's almost impossible to tell the difference between a reproduction and an original, unfortunately, and it's really affected the price on the originals. It really has. It's unfortunate.
Well, there's a lot of good people out there making the lenses, and they get them as close as they can, and I agree with you on that. And thank God they are dating them. I know I've took a lot of slack on some restored lenses that haven't been dated, but to be honest with you, a newbie can tell a restored globe from original right off the bat, and it's just, we're going to be touching that in another episode down the road, so I don't want to really talk too much about the restored globes, but I agree with you on that. A lot of people are making some great looking reproductions.
It's unbelievable.
And it is unbelievable. So in your opinion, the globes right now is kind of...
Yeah, it's not really a good place to put your money.
Where would you put your money right now in this field?
Well, it would be obviously gas pumps, air stations, signs are huge.
Yeah.
Signs are
Bingo
just
on
phenomenal. Oh, porcelain, nice porcelain signs.
I'm sorry, Tom, would you like a drink?
Sure. In fact, she's talking about signs. Do you remember shortly after we met, I was talking to you about plastic signs?
Yeah,
Does
oh,
that
I
ring a
sure
bell?
do. That was 15 years ago.
Yeah, right. You know, and they weren't really hot.
You top mine off.
They weren't really hot at the time, and I don't know. I just had an
Hey,
interest.
Tom, I'm gonna stop you right
Yeah,
there.
sure.
Let's toast to all our fans out in the pit stop. God bless you.
God bless you.
Okay, go ahead on the plastic side.
Sure.
I know what you're leading to. You're gonna burn me.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead, buddy.
Well, I had an interest in them. They're just interesting to me, you know, the pop signs, beer signs, they're just cool. And I just started picking them up. I was getting them $4 or $5 a piece a lot of times.
Oh, I know.
And I told you, I says,
Yeah, you did.
I said, you should be picking these up when you see them.
You sure
And he
did.
said, plastic, you know, he thought it'd never go anywhere.
I wasn't a big fan of
yeah,
plastic.
well, look where they are today. Now I've seen the same signs, $400 or $500. Geez.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? I'm paying $200 to $300 to get the same signs I'm making $100 off of, like the Sunoco lights up, the light ups. When you had so many of them, you offered to me at $75 a piece,
Right.
and I thought you were crazy, and I should have took your advice. That's
Yeah,
why you were
well.
here today in the pit stop, so we can get an idea of an expert's opinion what to collect. And honestly, it's a pleasure to have you here, Tom.
Well, it's an honor to be here, Chief.
What do you think about the oil cans?
Oh, they're great too. Another good investment.
Yeah.
Oil cans, absolutely. I have quite a few myself. I probably have about 100.
So you feel that's a good investment?
Absolutely.
What about cardboard cans? Any of them? Or? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so there you go for the newbies. You can still buy oil cans out there. Search them in your garage sales, search them in your swap meets, even find some on eBay. Get them up for under $5 a can and start collecting them. You heard them from Tom. You're hearing it from me too. I think cans are a great investment. I think that cans are a great decorative piece, and a lot of cans are very graphic. Start collecting cans, put them on the shelf. $100, go get you some cans. It don't make no difference. You don't have to have a $3 or $4 can. It's gonna only go up in price.
Absolutely.
Okay, Tom. Tom, I want to touch a few things that you've done in the field. You've helped with a couple of book writings. You've helped with a couple things. You helped with a couple collections that I've landed, and I appreciate you for that. You've done a lot for the hobby, and I know that you don't like to be seen in the hobby. I know not a lot of people know. You're also an actor. You've got roles in a few movies that's coming up that was shot in Detroit. Would you like to touch on that a little bit, Tom?
Yeah, I've been, as of around July of '08, I've been in about 25 films. Background work, a lot of background work. I've had some stand-in work, some body double. I've met a lot of very interesting people.
It's been a great experience.
It's been really exciting. In fact, I ended up taking dramatic art classes for a couple of years, and I'm really excited about it. It's a very challenging and interesting field.
Well, it's an honor to know somebody like you. You've always been straight up, and it's always a pleasure seeing you. That's for sure.
Thank you.
And also, I want to let you know on something. This is a great kept secret. I introduced this to the pit stop months ago. Might even been a year ago. However, on the chopping block, this episode is the Big J.O. That's right, people. Jerk off. Now, don't let that name fool you. And I know it's going to bring some giggles in the household and stuff, but this is a super penetrating fluid in lubrication. And what's good about this, as you're working on anything, a house or a gas pump or an automobile, you got them rusty bolts, you take a squirt of this and you can still put heat on this. This is not flammable. This is very, very good penetrating fluid. It's a lubrication as well. You're getting 2 bangs for your money. And Tom is the owner of this product. And we're going to have Tom say a few words about the product and where you can get it. He's going to also tell you about the website.
Well, actually, I'm proud to say that it's all-American made product. I'm actually having it made in Wayne, Michigan.
Wayne, Michigan.
And it's packaged everything right here in the USA.
Hey, I want to stop you right there, Tom. Thank you for keeping this product in the heart of Detroit. When you talk about Wayne, Michigan, the unemployment rate there is unreal, and thanks a lot for keeping this product in
My
there.
pleasure.
And I appreciate it. I know this product is big on the West Coast, and I know that you're keeping a lot of people employed by producing this product, and I want to say thank you. Give us a little bit more about this product.
What makes it a really great product is that it does what a really good penetrating fluid and lubricant is supposed to do. It creeps into thousandths of an inch to get in between the two rusted pieces and eats the rust, and it leaves a phenomenal lubricant, and it won't wash off.
You hear that, you gas pump restorers out there? Keep this in your toolbox. This stuff is amazing. This is a blessing from above. Another thing about this JO, get yourself a can of it. Tom's going to tell you where you're going to get it on a website. Help the Motor City out. You know what I'm talking about. Give it to us, Tom.
You can order through my website at www.joindustries.com.
Or, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for you people out there watching right now. Compliments of the cheese, and Tom here, for the first 50 callers, I'm going to give a free can of this jerk-off. A free can of the JO. You can call me at 810-225-1886. And for them callers, I'm going to send you a free can of jerk-off, a sample can. I know you're going to like it. Thank you, Tom. Thank you for a great product as well.
My pleasure.
Well, you hear the phones ringing already, don't you? Let's have a drink to that, Tom. Keeping the people working in Detroit. Tom, once again, man, it's a pleasure to see you. I know you don't get out this way very much.
Not often, no.
It's really a pleasure to have you here. We're going to touch on a few more things about the gas hobby, and then we're going to let you go. I know you're a busy man. Can somebody please take this phone off the hook? They're calling for the JO Lubrications, and I'm trying to do an interview here with Tom. Thank you, Sally. Thank you. The phones will be operating again in the next 5 minutes, so everybody hold online. We've been getting unphenomenal calls on this free can. The phone's off the hook, so if you get a busy signal, you know what's happening.
I just want to tell you, Cheese and his wife Dawn, talk about a dynamite team.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate
You
it.
guys are phenomenal, and talk about a pleasure to deal with. These guys are it.
Thank you, Tom.
And the work that comes out of here is just impeccable. These guys really have it together. The finishes on everything, comb your hair in it, just beautiful. Attention to detail.
Tom, I really appreciate that.
Just awesome work, Cheese, and you guys have worked hard to
Thank
reach this level, and deserve to give yourself a round of applause for that.
Well, I appreciate that coming from a man of your caliber. I really appreciate it.
So,
But Tom, you know that this isn't the only thing that we do here for our living. This is one branch of the octopus. You know, we've got many rentals, and we do auctions, and we do internet marketing, and we do promoting, and we host shows. There's a lot of things that we do that a lot of people don't know. We do graphics on motorcycles, automobiles. Everything. I mean, everything that comes down to, we do restoration on portraits. We get calls from many different people. It isn't just the gas field that we're involved with. And nowadays, you know how it is. You got to be diversified.
you do, absolutely, absolutely.
Tom, how do you feel about restoration, pumps, automobiles? Give us a little insight.
Here's my opinion, Cheese. Everybody's, for the most part, has heard this statement that, oh, I can buy one already restored, way cheaper than I can to take one and go through a massive restoration on it. Well, that's true in a lot of cases, but it takes a special person that knows that's willing to take, whether it's a gas pump, an oil dispenser, or if it's a vehicle, whatever it is, they're willing to make that sacrifice of time and money to take that piece and totally go through it from the ground up and restore it like new. That takes a lot of dedication, And that's something that not a lot of people are willing to do. And I commend anybody that makes that ultimate sacrifice, because they're keeping one more alive, meaning that a lot of times something decayed in a really bad state could end up in a scrapyard. And that's just one more gone. And I'm kind of a sentimentalist about the past, and I can say I've actually done it with an antique truck, 31 International grain box truck that I bought in Farmington Hills. It was in a pretty rough state. The sheet metal was pretty solid on that truck. Wood was in really bad shape, and it ended up a ground up restoration, frame off. A lot of time and money went into it. It was a 3-year project.
It was a labor of love.
It was, and it had been restored at one point, not real good. It was band-aided together. The wood door frames were coming apart.
We all been there, Tom.
Oh yeah, and I just wanted it done right. So again, I probably put more into the truck than what I could get out of it, but I kept one more alive out there, and it was pretty exciting. So again, I commend all of you out there that make that ultimate sacrifice.
And so do I. Another piece of American history saved.
Absolutely.
Keep doing what you're doing out there restoring.
Keep one more alive.
Keep it alive. And once again, Tom, I want a thumb up if you think something's going to make it. I want thumbs down if you think it's a bad investment. Let's start with gas pumps. Is it a thumb up or thumb down?
Thumb up.
There you have it, a thumb up from Tom Donor. Buy gas pumps. It's a good investment. What do you think about advertising signs?
Awesome.
Thumb up from Tom Donor. There you go. Oil cans?
Right up there.
How about the globes?
Not right now. Not at this time. Maybe in the future, but right now it's really not a good time.
Well, Tom, you know, I'm glad you kind of brought that up. I told people to stay away from the globes, but now as you're saying this, I don't want to discourage anybody. What I want to say is what Tom just said right there. He says, not right now. So, not right now is hold still before you purchase any globes. And let's hope that it turns around. Tom, how many globes do you have in your collection?
I have 250.
250 globes, but thank God you got into them.
But they're all originals.
They're all,
before the repops hit.
yeah, that's good. It's a good.
Very fortunate.
And you got into them right because you bought them a long time ago.
Right.
Excellent. All right, well there you have it, Mr. Tom Donor saying hello from the pit stop. More episodes to come.